7:20 p.m. And it's all on the only network that matters, the ZNS Network.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, a special life-saving donation for San Salvador residents, another homicide overnight, a family's farewell to Kenise Starble, and in sports, two Bahamians face off in the NBA. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jimenita Swain, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news, the central government's outstanding debt estimated over $11 million at the end of December 2022, and that's an increase of $259.3 million or 2.4% since end of September 2022, and just over $243 million by the end of last year, June. These numbers comprise the Ministry of Finance's Public Debt Statistical Bulletin. Public sector debt stock was estimated at more than $12 million at the end of December 2022, and that's a gain of more than $283 million or 2.3% by September 2022, and $256.2 million or 2.1% since the end of June last year. Also making the list, foreign currency indebtedness stands at more than $5 million, Bahamian dollar debt now at more than $6 million, and quarterly outstanding debt changes were primarily associated with developments in government sector, which increased by $243.2 million since end June 2022. In other news, the gift of life is what residents of San Salvador are now getting thanks to a donation by someone who saw a need and stepped up to the plate. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis was on hand as a crucial tool was added to the island's medical arsenal. Cleopatra Murphy has the story from San Salvador.
It's an important tool that can mean the difference between life and death. Now the island of San Salvador has a new ambulance following a commissioning and handover ceremony at the San Salvador Community Clinic Friday night. Seeing it as a crucial tool, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, who took a turn in the driver's seat of the new ambulance, says it was one of the promises made to Club Med as officials look to improve the delivery of health care for all on the island.
When I grew up in Old Bycat Island, my grandparents would say, it's better safe than sorry. That means that we'll have the ambulance here. It may never be used. And we hope it never be used, because if it is used, then, there's some tragedy or some affliction or infirmity that's occurring in our community. But to have it, because if it does happen and we don't have it, then what is the result?
He says efforts to strengthen health services will also include the opening of a clinic in United States that is anticipated to be open in a matter of months. The nation's leader also thanked Jose Luis, who identified and was instrumental in the island getting a new vehicle.
And he came to the rescue. And in partnership, we now have ambulance in San Salvador. I want us to give Luis once again a grand hand and show our appreciation for that.
Director of Community Health Services in the Ministry of Health, Charlene Bain, told islanders that they have one of the best healthcare teams in the country on island, also stressing the importance of having the medical practitioners near the clinic.
Most times people don't understand the methodology in health. If you're going to respond to an emergency to save people's life, you need to be within 20 minutes of the clinic. And that's important as we look to build residences for our staff, maybe on the compound.
Chief Counselor Renard Storr says the ambulance is a necessity that the community welcomes.
Gone are the days where people are being placed on the back of a truck. I said we are now in the 21st century. And I said, to God be the glory for great things he have done.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Also making news tonight, the Water and Sewage Corporation enhancing its operation in North Eleuthera with the official commissioning of a water supply project on Russell Island of Spanish Wells yesterday. The senior government delegation led by Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, who was accompanied by Works Minister, the Honorable Alfred Sears, Water and Sewage Executive Chairman and North Eleuthera Member of Parliament Sylvanus Petty, and Agriculture and Marine Resources Family Island Affairs Minister and Central and South Eleuthera Member of Parliament, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, saw firsthand how this project will elevate North Eleuthera's water flow. Prime Minister Davis acknowledged the initiative represents a $600,000 investment in Russell Island that will ensure its residents access clean, potable water while supporting the rapidly growing community. The delegation also toured an expansion project underway at the Bogue in North Eleuthera and a naval base facilities. Well, a concern for more agricultural funding addressed at that recent town hall meeting in North Andros. This week, fishermen and farmers who applied for agricultural grants were apprised of their success or failure. Jactarni Farms operator Shavara Iroka Aeneas is disappointed about her unsuccessful attempt to secure government funding.
Many of the fishermen and farmers were notified yesterday that they were either successful or unsuccessful in their ploy to receive a grant from the government. As an entrepreneur and running two farms, one in North Andros, one of the only strawberry farms in the country, and the other one in Nassau, I must tell you it is not easy as an entrepreneur to not have agricultural assistance from the government, especially when you ask for grants that will help to further your business, that will help to employ Bahamians, and of course provide food for Bahamians. So please, sir, if you can kindly look into those persons that you know in agriculture that are actually working, that are actually putting the money to good use. Please have a second look at those applications.
Here's Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell's response.
The number of demands for applications exceeded the money that was available. Yes. So there was a shortfall.
Well, back here in the capital, police are investigating a shooting incident that has left a 27-year-old man of Pinewood Gardens dead. Preliminary reports indicate that ShotSpotter technology alerted officers of gunshots being fired in the Pinewood Gardens area around 9 o'clock last night. Officers were then informed that a man who was known to police was sitting outside a residence on Wild Gava Street when a dark-colored Nissan March pulled up in front of the home. It's reported that a gunman exited the vehicle firing gunshots in the direction of the victim, which resulted in the victim being shot multiple times. The Pinewood Gardens resident was then taken to hospital by private vehicle. However, police say the man died from the injuries sustained a short time later. Police are appealing to members of the public who may have any information on this incident to contact the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or your nearest police station. Well, the late Kenice Davro laid to rest in a service at Mount Tabor Church this morning. The service drawing crowds of mourners from across the island who showed up to pay their final respects to a woman whose story gripped hearts across the nation. Davro passed away back on January 19th following a more than week-long health battle. Her final days spent advocating for her cause on social media as she spoke about the alleged negligence she faced while receiving treatment at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Hospital authorities have since launched an investigation that's pending. A creative director and business owner, Kenice leaves behind her husband, Gerard Darrell, and the couple's 3 sons. She was 33 years old.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
A Bahamian delegation, including Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs Clay Sweeting, Parliamentary Secretary Leonardo Lightbourne, and Bahamas Ambassador to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, His Excellency Winston Pinnock, hosted United States Permanent Representative to the UN agencies in Rome, Ambassador Cindy McCain, on her first official visit to the Bahamas recently. During a 2-day trip, the ambassador visited the Island School, One Eleuthera, and Apple Hole Farms in Eleuthera, Coral Vida in Grand Bahama, and also took an island tour of East Grand Bahama. On the second day, she met with Prime Minister Philip Davis and several cabinet ministers and toured the American Makerspace and Incubator for Collaborative Expression, ICE. The ambassador said she's impressed with the Bahamas.
Climate change was the initial reason I came, but the reality that I learned today is that on Eleuthera there are some amazing projects that are innovative and that are implementing science and technology to agriculture, education for our youth. For instance, the island school that we saw today is something that your children in the Bahamas are going to be able to proceed to be adults and have a background in how to not only save your island, but work with your island and also keep the planet safe.
Minister Sweeting says it was important to speak with the ambassador about climate-smart agriculture.
What was exciting today is that Ambassador McCain was able to see some progress that we've made at the Island School, at Simonet's Farm, as well as one in Eleuthera, where we're doing cooling houses, and which is a new integrated way of farming instead of just a greenhouse or our outdoor farming. It's able to be a controlled environment. So all of these things with technologies and innovation helps us to see where we'd like to move in this country within agriculture.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Kendia Smith. Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point. Call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
This is super cool. Are you gonna help me clean up your toys?
Delivery.
Be right there.
Hello.
Am I gonna get it or are you gonna get it? I'll get it. Hey, thank you. Come on.
Hey, can I help you? Hey.
No, sorry, I'm not home. I'm coming.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
The 44th regular meeting of the heads of government of the Caribbean community is being held in Nassau from February 15th to 17th. Tune in to Live at CARICOM, live from Bahama on Thursday, February 16th and Friday, February 17th at 8:30 a.m. Live at CARICOM returns on Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. with a wrap-up of the day's events. Keep up with CARICOM 2023 on the only network that matters, the ZNS Network.
Good news to report tonight. Reverend Dr. C.B. Moss has been released from hospital a month after his collapse at the Majority Rule Church service on January 10th. A press release from his family says he continues to make steady progress and will convalesce at home. The family extends heartfelt gratitude to doctors, nurses, and support staff of Doctors Hospital, the government of the Bahamas, including Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, Opposition Leader Michael Pintard, Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, Dave Beckford, the Mount Olive Baptist Church family, and everyone who called, visited, and delivered meals. Additionally, the family offers sincere thanks to the hundreds of well-wishers near and far who lifted the family up in prayer or attended the 3 nights of prayer, praise, and thanksgiving that was organized by Reverend Philip McPhee, Bishop Simeon Hall, and Reverend Robert Colbrook and Minister Glenn Roy Miller at the Mount Olive Baptist Church on January 17th through 19th. Reverend Moss's family asks that they all be kept in the nation's thoughts and prayers as they are firm believers in the power of prayer. In other news, LJM Maritime Academy has risen over the past 9 years as a leading maritime institute for young people. Tonight, our Lloyd Allen informs us about some of the persons responsible for creating this highly ranked homegrown Seafarers Academy.
My name is Sean Miller. I'm the COO of LJM Maritime Academy / lecturer as well.
A part of the team for 2.5 years, Miller says his extensive experience as an engineer helped to equip him in his current role.
I started out as a lecturer. Prior to that, I worked in the energy industry, where I was a mechanical engineer for some 30 years.
After working with dozens of cadets over the years, Miller says onboarding recruits has become routine.
When the new recruits come in, the first thing they want to know is that, where am I going to go? Am I going to be able to see the world? Have you ever been on a ship? What's it like being on a ship? How big are the engines?
While those are important questions, Miller says familiarizing cadets with ship husbandry and maritime protocols remains the key in creating the ideal maritime professional.
The most difficult thing I found with the students when they come in is the transition from high school level to tertiary level, where they're no longer being fed the information and basically being guided through it.
Among the many skills acquired, that of discipline ranks high on the seas, according to Regimental Officer Steve Brown.
We have a morning ceremony called a Morning Colors, where we do hoisting of the flags. Then sometimes we do a morning prayer. Then we do an inspection.
With cadets ranging between 17 and 35 years old, each cohort runs for 2 years on site and a third out to sea. These instructors say skills learned in navigation, engineering, and ship husbandry helps to build some of the best trained in the industry, but also advise recruits to prepare for a life-changing experience.
It's going to be hard. The challenges are you are preparing your child to go out to the world to become an adult.
Though courses are hard, students walk away prepared to brush shoulders with some of the best globally.
Each time that we see some of the students on television, some working on Disney, some working on Carnival, and those vessels are highlighting our students and what a wonderful job they're doing out there on the sea, especially the females.
Now, according to facilitators, more than 90% of graduates go on to work for some of the top companies in the industry, harnessing experiences for a lifetime. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
With less than 4 days till Valentine's Day, the pressure is on for those in love but last-minute shoppers. The question of where to go and what to buy baffling many hopefuls today. But in this Valentine's feature tonight, our Antoinette Smith has got you covered.
Just think beyond the box, outside the box. Just go a little further and she would really love you for that.
For some, picking the perfect gift for V-Day can be somewhat of a head-scratcher, so much so that some unfortunate shoppers sometimes miss the mark.
The gifts from on the side of the street, the gift baskets, I don't think they're no longer acceptable.
You might want to jot that down. It's a tip straight from one of the best in the business, whose insight on all things lifestyle and beauty just might keep the love-struck but clueless on the right track and out of the doghouse this year.
To know what your girl wants, it's quite simple. TikTok. Everyone's on TikTok. You can just see what she likes on TikTok. If she shares something with you or on Instagram, if she sends it to your DM, those are like indirect ways of saying things. You just have to be open enough to read between the lines.
But that's the easy part, once you've done your homework, of course. The hard part, making all that new intel count.
I would say turn it up a notch and go and get a handbag of a choice. You may see already have something of that particular collection, where it be of Tory Burch, Coach, Gucci, Louis, anything of that sort. You know your woman, you know what she likes. So probably just get a handbag and fill it up with all the things that she may like, be that of skincare, beauty, lifestyle products. You could just fill it up. So you're now personalizing that bag for her.
Though admittedly, results may vary, which is why this final tip is for those who are up to the challenge.
You know, getting reservations at restaurants is going to be super hectic around this time. Get a masseuse to come at the house. You could do a massage for 2. You could also come to help you get a bottle of wine, some gourmet nuts, something of that sort, you know, to lively it up a bit. And you can get like a charcuterie board, sip and paint, and these things are also on TikTok. They show you like what you can do to spruce things up for you and your loved one.
And with that, good luck, happy shopping, and may the Valentine's odds be ever in your favor. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Thanks, Anthony. Some good tips there. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. Sports is after the break.
The Bahamas hosts this year's regular meeting of heads of government February 15th through 17th. Join the ZNS Network on Wednesday, February 15th for live coverage of the official opening ceremony of this important meeting of Caribbean leaders. It will all come live from the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort starting at 6:20 p.m. And it's all on the only network that matters, the ZNS Network.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
On Wednesday, February the 15th, in order to accommodate the ZNS Network's live coverage of the prestigious opening ceremony of the 44th regular meeting of the heads of government of CARICOM, the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition will broadcast at 5 p.m., and the Bahamas Tonight The National Report will air at 5:30. That's Wednesday, February 15th, the Bahamas Tonight The Northern Edition at 5 o'clock, and the Bahamas Tonight National Report at 5:30.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Saturday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. It was a battle of Bahamians last night in the association. DeAndre Ayton and his Phoenix Suns would take on Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers. It would be Phoenix, though, emerging victorious, led by 22 points and 11 rebounds from the Bahamian big man. They would defeat the Pacers 117-104. As for Buddy Buckets, he would chip in with 14. The Suns, who recently acquired superstar Kevin Durant via trade, currently sit at 31-27 on the season, while the Pacers would drop to 25-32. Ayton talking post-game about playing without close friend Mikal Bridges, who was traded to Brooklyn earlier this week.
I ain't want to say it was emotional, but the whole world knew what happened today, and it was a business. And at the same time, the guys on left field was a part of this family, and it would get to you a little bit. Still, nobody going off the war or anything. It's more than basketball at the same time.
Now, as for the addition of one of the NBA's greatest scorers.
A lot comes to my mind. I don't want to say what comes to my mind, but you done made the world shake a couple times today. But a lot of things come to my mind, but really competitiveness, competing. Being the top competitor in this league and knowing damn well teams are aware and knowing damn well we got to finish the job. You know what I'm saying? The expectations are way higher, and it's just a whole new team, man. The whole new vibe has changed, and I can't wait to step on the court and go into my first battle with those guys.
Bahamas Dart Federation holding its gold trial tournament today at the El Dico Dart Hall on Gladstone Road. 4 islands represented as dozens of skilled players try and qualify for the Bahamas' World Cup team.
This is of elimination, but it's the beginning of our national tournaments that ends up with a World Cup team. This year, World Cup is going to be in Denmark, but it's right now the bragging rights between the 4 islands. So right now, everyone tries to, shoot their best and see who comes out on top, who's going to be the individual winner and the overall team winner for the tournament.
As for the level of competition.
Well, so far, everyone feels that they're the best of the best. So, you know, the trash talk is going to come along with the competitive. So it's very tight right now. Nassau seems to be really on top, but Abaco is right behind them, not too far behind. Right now, we're in the middle of the knockouts trial, which is very important. Once you're out, and you advance from this point in. So everyone is right now on top of their gaming, trying to be precise on where they throw their darts and make sure that they finish the games.
Well, Grand Bahama, we are not playing as well as we should, but we're still there. We're giving Nassau a run for their money. We have knocked out some in the knockouts so far. The ladies are doing pretty well. It seems like the ladies are holding their own, which is good. I just want to stick a pin that most times people figure that darts is really kind of like a barroom thing, but it's not. You can have a darts anywhere, and you do not have to have liquor or smoking. So anyone who's interested in joining the Darts Association, we welcome you.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Saturday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
Looking to create that special gift basket for a special occasion? Visit Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Choose from their large selection of baskets, plush toys, teddies and bunnies in a variety of colors and sizes, unique lighted teddies, specialty mugs and fragrances. Get your unique design or words heat pressed on an item to create that special gift. All from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Call 394-8385 or 6 or WhatsApp 817-3295.
The 44th regular meeting of the heads of government of the Caribbean community is being held in Nassau from February 15th to 17th. Tune in to Live at CARICOM, live from Bahamar on Thursday, February 16th and Friday, February 17th at 8:30 a.m. Live at CARICOM returns on Thursday and Friday at 8 p.m. with a wrap-up of the day's events. Keep up with CARICOM 2023 on the only network that matters, the ZNS Network.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. We're under mostly clear skies, but that will change later on as we anticipate a bit of cloud to start moving in. Current temperature, 79 degrees, the relative humidity at 74%. We have southerly winds at 18 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,017.7 millibars. That is 30.05 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, 76 in Marshall, Abaco, Greenville, Key at 79. Freeport, Grand Bahama, 79 degrees as well. The Berry Islands, 80 degrees, 79 in Allenstown, Bimini, 78 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera as well. In Black Point, Exuma, they have a temperature of 79 degrees. Also, Camp Space Andrews at 79. Fresh Creek, Central Andrews at 80 degrees. 77s in Allenstown, Cadalum, San Salvador, and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma at 78 degrees. 78s in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana, 79. Ackland, 79. Matthewtown and Agua at 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 75 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight in the northwestern islands, the winds are going to be south to southwest at 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet. The high tide, that will occur at 11:44 tonight. And for the central and southeastern islands, Southeasterly winds at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet, so caution flags are in place throughout the 700 islands tonight. And then tomorrow, Sunday, in the northwestern parts of our country, the winds become southwest to west ahead of a cold front, which is heading our way. Those wind speeds, they will increase 15 to 20 knots, wave heights building 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, maintaining that caution flag, with high tide taking place at 11:55 in the morning and your low tide at 6:11 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, southeasterly winds, a slight reduction, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights down 3 to 6 feet over the ocean, but we will continue to maintain the caution flags for the central and southeastern islands. Now our satellite picture, that high pressure has now made that trek towards the east, and as you will see those winds swinging out of the south and eventually out of the southwest ahead of that frontal system. Here goes the frontal boundary approaching central Florida. That will continue pushing towards the south and east. So you will see some increase in cloudiness tomorrow. And as we head into the afternoon hours, look for some showers developing along that frontal boundary, even possibly an isolated thunderstorm as well. But most importantly, once that front goes through in the late evening, tomorrow night, we will notice a nice drop in temperatures, and the real chill will come our way on Monday. But starting tomorrow night, just around Super Bowl time, that is when that frontal boundary is anticipated to go through. Partly cloudy conditions tonight with a warm breeze in place. A passing shower could develop later on tonight with your low temperature around 72 degrees. And tomorrow, look for variable cloudiness with a couple of showers, particularly along that frontal boundary. The winds will gradually subside in the afternoon. 83 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow. And the extended weather forecast, once we get that wet stuff out of the way on Sunday evening, things are going to open up on Monday. We're looking at lots of sunshine. The breeziness will remain in place, and that will help to keep those chilly temperatures in place, with the low temperature dropping into the low 60s, and that will maintain that way until about Tuesday of next week, before we have a slight warming trend on Wednesday, with the temperature getting up to 71 degrees. But that will be short-lived, as we will be back into the 60s on Thursday, taking us into the weekend. Jumanita?
Thanks, Basil. And that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the